At 6, the battle for clean drinking water in our state continues. The State Environmental Management Commission recently proposing a new controversial rule. It would not punish companies for dumping toxic chemicals into the water. WECT's Connor Smith heard concerns from environmental groups in our community today. Connor, they say this proposal is worse than doing nothing.
Yeah, that was the phrase used, Fran. They say this is dangerous and only helps the companies that pollute the water, doing nothing to help you in your drinking water. We've known for years our water is at high risk of having toxic forever chemicals, PFAS. The State Environmental Management Commission now proposing a rule that says companies have to test for PFAS pollution, but they face no penalties if they keep contaminating the water.
The proposed rule is preposterous. It is insulting, right? This is basically worse than doing nothing.
North Carolina should be a little embarrassed with itself right now.
While regulators say it's a step forward, critics argue it moves us backwards. It applies to over 600 industrial sites, including some that discharge PFAS compounds. If they pollute too much, they'd have to create reduction plans. But beyond that, there's no punishment. Emily Donovan with Clean Cape Fear says it's a proposal with no benefits.
This is dangerous. I mean, this is essentially giving a get-out-of-jail-free card to polluters upstream of us.
Forever chemicals have touched drinking water, firefighter gear, and countless lives in our region. One of them is Dana Sargent, the executive director of Cape Fear River Watch. Her brother died of cancer after years of exposure to PFAS as a firefighter.
This rule does nothing forever.
It's been 8 years since we first learned about PFAS in this water, and Sargent says there's barely been any progress. She says companies still have too much of a say, even helping write this rule. Earlier this year, the Trump administration withdrew a proposal that would limit PFAS discharge amounts. Now, Sargent says state leaders aren't doing enough to keep you safe.
It is beyond appalling at the inaction in this state on this issue.
State policymakers and community members both trying to find an answer. An NCDEQ spokesperson says they'll keep pursuing ways to protect public health. They say reducing PFAS at the discharge source is the most cost-effective way to do that. Fran?
Connor, what are the next steps from here after this initial proposal?
Well, this rule is back up for debate again in May, and that's when DEQ is expected to share their revised draft. Sargent says she's hoping to get a group up to Raleigh then to protest the draft.
All right, we'll see how that unfolds. Thanks so much.